Hey, I'm Jessica with Electra and today I'm going to show you how to layer eyeshadow. Now, the main key with this is you're going to go from a larger area to a smaller area with a larger brush to a smaller brush. But first we're going to prep everything. So just take any concealer you have, tap it all over the eyelid, and you have to do this because it's going to give you a nice canvas. Cancel out any discoloration, and you see it just really brightens up the eye. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you set that. I'm using a translucent powder here, and you want to make sure you can easily run your brush back and forth over that concealer so that there's no skipping and the eyeshadow won't stick anywhere. The Goss eyeshadow palette is gorgeous. I'm going to use every single shade, and we're going to start using a matte brown on a nice kind of large fluffy brush, and I'm going to go all over the lid and all over the crease. This is going to basically just be a wash of color that you could absolutely do on your own, but since we're going to layer, I'm going to show you how. I like to start with a nice neutral matte because it allows all of the other colors to have somewhere to go. That way they're not so stark on their own. The next thing I'm going to do is take a plain old brush with nothing on it and go around the edges. We're going to continue to blend, but we want to make sure our edges are nice and blended, for lack of a better word. Now I'm going to take this smaller brush with the same eyeshadow and run it under the eye. We're going to do some darker liner later, but we want to again make sure we have something down so that the darker colors have something to go into and they're not so stark. Now this is the brush we just used. You're going to take a slightly thinner brush. Remember, we're going from a larger area to a smaller area with using larger brushes going into smaller brushes. So now I'm going to take a really warm color. Again, if I just put this shade directly on my eyelids, it would look a little red, a little stark. But because we have this nice neutral matte down, I can take this satin, really warm, brownish red rust color, and I'm putting it just on the outside. So kind of a large V, starting with like the crease and the lash line as the edges of the V, and blending that all together. Now this is one of my favorite tricks. I'm going to take that brush we used earlier for the matte brown and blend the rest into the brown even farther. Now I'm taking an even smaller brush and I'm dipping into the matte black. Don't be scared of black. It's the best color eyeshadow. If I could only have one, it would be that, and maybe some glitter. Now I'm just going to go on the eyelid. I'm going to do a V again, but we're just staying on the eyelid. So again, larger area to smaller area. This is going to add depth. It's going to add a little bit of shadow, and it's going to open up the eye. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom lash line. Remember, if we put black right on there, it might be a bit too stark, but it's blending into the brown and just really defining the eye. Go back in with the brush we used for the rust color. Again, don't put anything on it, but use that to blend the black and stay right on top of the black as much as you can. Now this is the next step. You don't have to do this. I like to go in and lighten up that lid a little bit. It's going to make the eyes look bigger, and this is a nice satin champagne shade. Use obviously whatever works with your skin tone, but as you can see, it's just giving another layer of dimension and a little bit of light to the eye, just a little more visual interest. Next, this is what I call the magic eraser trick. I'm going in with a huge fluffy brush and a nice kind of satin, it's not real shimmery shade. I'm going on the inner corner, the brow bone, and all around the edges of that eyeshadow to really make sure everything is blended and blown out. Yet another step, you don't have to take this, but a glitter topper, one of my favorite things. Again, another layer of visual interest, more light. It just makes the eyes pop, very grown up, not crazy, absolutely gorgeous. Now we're going to add some liner. Very tiny flat brush into the black, and I've sped this up because it takes forever, but basically you want to push that black liner right into the base of the lashes. It's going to make them look thicker, and it's going to give you more lid space so that all that really pretty work you did on the lid doesn't get lost. And that's it. That's how you layer eyeshadow. Larger to smaller areas, start with the bigger brush, go to a smaller brush, blend everything using the brush used before, and you got it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.